What if we could take a feeling as frantic and overwhelming as anxiety and translate it into a single cohesive design? Can we visually map the mind's descent from a state of clarity to a place of complete chaos? And can a static infographic, a simple piece of art, become a legitimate guide through a panic spiral? Today, our mission is to design an infographic that emits the emotional experience of an unstable mindset. Using affinity, we will create a vertical design titled Spiral. The infographic will use a gradient and a series of lines to represent the 5 stages of an anxiety attack, inviting the viewer on a journey from a state of control to a loss of it, and to the quiet aftermath. We will then discuss some ways we can navigate and quell our own fears. Our design is built on 2 main core foundations: a gradient that guides the emotional journey, and a single frantic line that represents the mind's descent into a spiral. We begin with the 5 stages of anxiety, each corresponding to a section of our infographic. Stage 1, the trigger. Our design begins at the top with a clean white background, a blank slate, if you will. The line is a single, calm, intentional curve, representing a singular event or thought. The text is simple and organized, suggesting a slight feeling of unease. This is the starting point. Stage 2, the physical manifestation. As we move down the infographic, the background shifts to a light orange. The line becomes slightly more sporadic, with a few extra lines beginning to appear, hinting at the start of chaos. The text here describes the physiological symptoms: heart racing, shortness of breath, sweating. Stage 3, the cognitive spiral. The background transitions into a deeper, more intense orange. The line is now a series of tight, frantic swirls, representing a mind lost in a cycle of what-if scenarios. What if they notice? What if I fail? What if I don't know what to do? They make your mind tighter and your perspective more narrow. Stage 4, the loss of control. This is the darkest stage, and the background shifts to a dark orange. The line is no longer a frantic series of swirls, but a dense, chaotic mess of a single sporadic line. The text is unhinged and almost unreadable, hidden and fragmented within the chaos. Phrases like, "Calm down," "Get it together," "What do I do?" This is the point of little to no return, the complete surrender to the feeling of being overwhelmed. Stage 5, the aftermath. As we approach the bottom of the infographic, the background remains black, but the lines begin to fade into stillness. The chaos recedes, leaving only a few quiet, resolved strands. The text here is once again clear and organized, but with a different tone. Silence, relief, a quiet exhaustion. This is the conclusion, the state of being after the spiral, when the overwhelming feeling subsides and you are left with the awareness you thought you'd never get back. So, what can designing this infographic teach us about anxiety? The process itself exposes the dynamics at play. By visually mapping the progression from order to chaos, we are able to see the stages of our own internal experiences. A real-life example of this is the experience of walking into a room full of strangers. Your mind begins with a single thought, but it can quickly spiral into a series of what-if scenarios, leading to physical symptoms and the feeling of being trapped. The design visually represents that inner turmoil. You can apply this to your own life by learning to identify these stages. Next time you feel that feeling of unease, pause and ask yourself which stage you are in. By identifying where you are in the spiral, you can begin to regain a small amount of control and make your way back to a sense of calm. Another good rule is to remind yourself that it's okay to be in this position you're in. More often than not, people are too focused on their own set of issues to actively invest in or even notice someone else's. All in all, it's important to remember that you'll get through the situation one way or another. So now, I want to ask you, what is a situation in your own life that triggers this feeling inside of you and you wish you can map out and better understand? If you enjoy this blend of design and philosophy, feel free to like and subscribe for more explorations into the visual language of thought. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay mindful, stay creative,